Welcome to my Sunnyvale Sims project. In 2019, when quarantine began, I decided that I wanted to recreate the Sunnyvale universe from Trailer Park Boys in my Sims 4 PC game. So I chose Willow Creek as my world, and unfortunately the game does not allow you to rename the worlds. But I've got most of the recurring characters in play right now in this world, and a couple that I had to make in another world. But I wanted to show you an overview today before I dive in trailer by trailer and show you just how obsessed I am with Trailer Park Boys. I thought I would just show you the entire neighborhood kind of as a kickoff and let you see what's coming. This did take me a better part of a year, and I'm still actively going back and tweaking and adjusting little things. I have made this as painfully accurate as I possibly could. And I've watched everything the Trailer Park Boys have done easily over 30 times. That's pretty much all I watched on a loop in 2019. And most of 2020 and even most of last year. There's not really any time that I'm not watching something Trailer Park Boys. I just love everything that they do, and it was definitely a way for me to escape from stress and anxiety that I was experiencing, in the early days of COVID. So this is how I self-soothe through COVID. I hope you guys love it. I really had a lot of fun doing this, and I know it is so over-the-top obsessive, but I have to share it anyway. So if we start over here, I have the Liquor Commission. So that is just the LC so that the guys have a place to go and buy alcohol. Next is the Palliser Motel / Dirty Burger lot. I recreated the Palliser Motel along with the grow tables and the rock vodka. And then I made a non-mobile version of the Dirty Burger so that this lot functions as a restaurant. The next lot here is a lot that I created for Jacob and Phil Collins. We never really see their house. In the movie Don't Legalize It, we see an exterior and I think maybe a little bit of the interior, but not enough for me to recreate it. So I just kind of gave them a generic trailer and of course a camper that is meant to represent the Dirty Burger. Next we have Don / Donna, and Donna has the nicest yard in the whole trailer park. And when you go inside, you will see that Donna is not a hoarder because all of her random shit is organized. And I did my best to recreate her hoard inside that trailer. Next is Cory and Trevor and the Cory and Trevor convenience store and Steve Rogers' awesome news van. Next door to them is Lucy, Sarah, and Trinity's trailer. That one is based off of season 7, I believe. The trailers change from season to season, so they're not always the same. So I had to pick one that we saw a lot of so I could sort of recreate it. So you should recognize the interiors there. Okay, so let's jump up here to Jim and Randy's Supervisor trailer. Next, this one is just the lot that my sim lives on so that I, too, can be part of Sunnyvale. She has a standard home and not a trailer because that's just how I felt like playing her. Next, I've got Barb Leahy's trailer. Again, this one I just sort of took creative license with because she either was in the Supervisor trailer at one point or we never really saw much of the interior. What little bit we did see in the later seasons, I tried to recreate in there. Next door is Julian's trailer. And this is one of the lots where you're going to see repeats because I originally made Bubbles' shed to be a standalone functioning lot. But over this past year, I went back and added this iteration of it because it was next to Julian's trailer for a while. So depending on how you would want to play, you could either have Bubbles living with Julian in the shed attached. This is the setup from season 7 with the Swayze Express. So I put train tracks in the side of the shed. Next door is the lot that is Bubbles' functioning standalone lot, where Bubbles lives on his own lot, and the shed is basically tiny house living. But I have made it as close to his shed as I could inside. But I had to give him some additional luxuries so that you can actually play the game, like he has an indoor shower. Otherwise, your sim gets dirty and they get unhappy, and then it's harder to play the game, and I am not about that. Next is Ricky's trailer, and it is set up as the drugs store. And also on the lot is Bubbles' shed as the honey oil refinery. So it is the initial setup for the Bubbles shed and breakfast, but then turned into a honey oil factory. So I kind of did a mix here. It's before they get the honey oil into the sheds. The sheds are set up with single beds in them, and then the honey oil stuff is set up right there. Next is the Dirty Dancer, which functions as a retail lot as Julian's business. So it's a gym, it's a bar, and you can buy your Christmas decorations there. So that is a workable lot that Julian owns and goes to work at and sells stuff, which I think is so much fun. Next is Margarite's trailer, R.I.P. Marguerite. We only see her bathroom and living room and kitchen in the season where Ricky attempts to hang up the towel rack and destroys her bathroom. So her bathroom here is pre-Ricky renovations, as it looked before he began his work. Next door is Ray's trailer. At this point, I have not figured out how to safely start a fire and only burn part of the trailer. That is my goal to accomplish at some point. Ray's tent is out here for when that does happen. And, yeah, I know you can set fires by cooking, but I don't want to burn the whole house. I just need to burn it enough so that it looks like it did in the show. So that may be a while before I figure that out. I don't want to destroy my hard work. I'll have to upload a copy of this just in case I ruin it. And then we've got J-Rock and T's trailer. And this is the double wide that they lived in where they filmed the movie with Ray, Bubbles, and Sarah and Lucy, and they had the smoke machine. That's the version of trailer that they're living in. Next, we just have a standard bowling alley, just so they have something for activity to do in their world without leaving their world. I got kind of lazy here because we don't ever see where these characters live, other than we see a little bit of George Green's house once Lucy and Trinity move in, but we never see where Officer Ted lives. We know Sam Losko lives in a camper for a while, but where does Cyrus live? So I put them all in the same house and just basically gave them little bachelor apartments so that they would be in the game and playable and could interact, but kind of low maintenance on my end. Next is Bubbles' Sunnyvale Plaza. So we've got the tacos takeout, and then we have all of his businesses, including the bowling alley over here. That is a functional retail lot that Bubbles owns and goes to work at. So that's a lot of fun too. And because there's a napping place in there, sometimes Bubbles naps while he's there. But I recreated the same businesses from the season and tried to keep them as, true to the actual show as I could. And then last but not least in this world is the Mystic Fingers Day Spa. It does include the indoor hot tub and some massage tables. And again, I've decorated it as close as I could to the real thing. So I'm going to pause while I jump to the other world to show you a couple other things that I have built. Alright, so now we're in a different world called Magnolia Promenade, and the only thing that I have here is Julian's container. And again, decorated inside exactly like it is in the show. I've got the traps and other fishing stuff outside on the lot. I tried to landscape the lot to sort of match the landscape in the show. And we've got one more for sure, so I'm going to pause again. Now we're in Brindleton Bay. Here in Brindleton Bay, I built the dump. So when I do finally burn down Ray's trailer, he can move to the dump. And I did do my best to recreate the little bit of area that we see, like his living area. I did do my best to recreate that accurately. The other thing in Brindleton Bay is the jail. And I started building the jail before the jail series came out. So now, of course, I'm gonna, at some point, have to try to learn the layout of the new jail, the Sunnyvale Jail, and recreate it also. But this is my take on the Bible Hills Correctional Facility, just based on some of the stuff that we saw in the show. That is not a duplex. There we go. Bible Hills Jail. And I made it like an Airbnb. So I can send the boys there for short visits, quote unquote, and they can be in jail. The jail is based pretty closely on season 8. And if you watch season 8.5, and if you haven't, shame on you. But we see a lot more of the jail in season 8.5. So I use that to put together the interior of this jail. That is everything that I've got for now. So I will be back soon with a video, and I'm just going to pick probably Ricky's trailer to start with, and I'll do a up close, in-depth tour of Ricky's trailer for you. I can't say when, but it'll be coming. I wanted to share this for a long time, and I think I've got everything ready to share on YouTube. I do share it in the Sims 4 gallery if you want to download any of this. I've also, of course, made all of the actual Sims so that I can play, and their personalities are set up to match their personalities in the show. So Ricky is a hothead and mischievous and sometimes pranks people and sometimes isn't very nice. But that's our Ricky, right? So check back for updates soon. I hope that you guys love this as much as I do and that you don't think that I'm clinically insane. Bye for now.